Good morning, you guys. I just wanted to come on here and share my labor and delivery story. I've had quite a few family members and close friends ask me how it went, and honestly, it's exhausting typing it out every time. So I figured it'd just be easier to make a video to talk about it because there's more than just the labor and delivery that I do want to talk about. So we're just going to start with the timeline about how everything went. It was totally unexpected how it all played out. This was not the plan whatsoever. If you see me looking back and forth, it's just because I have my computer open here and I've got my timeline and photos pulled up just so I don't stumble or get anything wrong. So started out Tuesday. I got really sick on Tuesday. The stomach bug made its rounds in my house, and I did everything to prevent myself from getting it, but unfortunately I did get it. So Tuesday night I got really sick and then ended up going into Wednesday morning, all through the night and then through the morning. I did call labor and delivery wee hours of the morning on Wednesday to just ask them, what should I be doing? Because obviously this isn't my baby that I'm carrying, so I want to make sure I'm taking every precaution necessary to make sure that she's healthy and safe. Obviously I was not very healthy at the time, so I just wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I needed to be doing. So called the hospital, labor and delivery, and I kept getting put in circles. They kept trying to connect me through to the doctor, but they were really busy. So it just wasn't working out. So I ultimately ended up hanging up the phone. Sorry. I actually had a doctor's appointment Wednesday morning also for an NST test, ultrasound, and a sit down with the midwife just to check on how things were going. So I also sent in a message through my portal just to let them know, like, hey, you guys, I'm sick. I'm not going to be able to make it in. Well, they ended up calling me Wednesday morning. This was around 10 in the morning, or right at around 11 in the morning. Asked, what was going on? What am I doing to take care of myself while I've been sick? And I just told them, I'm just drinking water, electrolytes, just trying to keep something down, but I wasn't really keeping anything down. So they requested that I come in to be monitored. So Mitchell wasn't home. My husband was not home. He was actually at the DMV. So I called him and let him know, like, hey, they need me to come in to be monitored, so I need you to come home, because I obviously was too sick to drive, and I obviously also was not going to go by myself. So I texted him at 11:10 in the morning, and Flagler Hospital is about just shy of an hour away from us. So we got there and started to be monitored and got hooked up to everything at 12:50 p.m. So noon, right after noon. And then we started the IV fluids at 1:30 p.m. We did 2 bags of IV fluids. They gave me some nausea medicine, and we were monitoring baby's movement. We were monitoring contractions, had I been having any, which at the time, I was not having any contractions. This is when everything gets started. Started the IV fluids at 1:30 p.m., 2 bags, and then at 2:30, by 2:30 p.m., I was like fully contracting. They were no longer Braxton Hicks. I was contracting. So I told the nurse, like, hey, I'm pretty certain I'm in labor at this point, because the contractions were painful. And I was getting no breaks in between. Things were really picking up. So we tried waiting around for the doctor to come check on, do a cervix check and just assess the situation. But as I said, they were really busy. So the midwife was like, if you're comfortable, I'll check your cervix. Absolutely. I was still at a 4. I was at a 4 the week before also. So I hadn't progressed in the past week. But obviously things softened up because She checked my cervix, and my water ended up breaking as soon as she did that, which obviously was not intentional. She was not trying to break my water. It just happened that way. So obviously at this point we need to get the ball rolling. I need to get moved into moved to labor and delivery, because right now I was just in a monitoring room. Got moved to labor and delivery, and that same time I received the epidural at 3:30 p.m. because, as I said, I was progressing super, super fast. I was not getting any breaks, and it was excruciating. I really did want to try to do it natural, but because I was not getting any breaks, and I had also been up for well over 24 hours at this point, I was absolutely exhausted. I was up all day Tuesday, all night, and now we're into Wednesday. So I had very little energy in my tank. So it was probably best that I got the epidural. Got the epidural 3:30 p.m. and immediately started pushing at 3:40 p.m. Because as soon as I got in the room, I got the epidural. They checked. I was at a 10. I was ready to push, but they still let me get the epidural, which thank the Lord, because I don't think I could have done it. Got the epidural, started pushing at 3:40 p.m. and she was born at 3:52 p.m. So everything moved really quickly. I got checked in at 12:50 and had her at 3:50. I think what happened is the bags of fluid that they were giving me rehydrated my body, allowed my muscles to start doing what they needed to do. I don't know if everything would have played out the same had I just stayed home. Had I not went to the hospital, would I have gone into labor still being dehydrated? I don't know. I really think it was the fluids that got things progressing and moving as fast as they did. So yeah, that all happened really fast. And I obviously, gonna try not to get emotional. I couldn't text. So my husband had my phone and he was texting, family, obviously we had to rearrange care for my kids. My kids were with my mom and my sister. Got that taken care of. And then he was texting the mom of baby and keeping her updated. And they actually live in Connecticut. So they had to fly down. None of this, the way it went down was not planned. I actually was scheduled for an induction so that they made sure that they could be here for labor and delivery. But because I went into labor before induction date, obviously they couldn't make it. Her plane left off around 8 p.m. and she landed around 11. My husband went and picked her up from the airport. That way she didn't have to get an Uber or anything like that. She was very anxious, nervous, obviously all of the feels. Okay, sorry. I got a phone call. So, husband went to go pick up the mom of baby. They got back probably like 12 in the morning. By this point, I was settled into the mom and baby unit, like no longer labor delivery floor. After I had her, we did have a small scare. Small, it did not last long, but it did put me in shock. So, I had to get through being in shock. That part was a little difficult, but we got through it. By the time she got there, I was sleeping. I was just flat out exhausted. Like I said, I had been up for a really long time. I would say that her reaction was definitely shock, like in love, but also shock. But I was also like in and out of sleep, you guys. So, she ended up going into her room, which was actually conveniently enough right next door to my room. Flagler Hospital is the absolute best. They took the utmost care of us. They did their best to get us right next door to each other, which I really appreciated. That was amazing. She was able to pop back and forth with baby after she got settled in, and she took her sweet babe to her room. It was, there's not much words to explain just the overall experience of being a surrogate and then giving birth to the baby that you just cared for 9 months. Obviously, you know, she was in my womb. It's not like I was actually taking care of her, but I was helping bring her into the world for this family. The mother and the father are the sweetest couple imaginable. They took the best care of me throughout the entire 9 months, made sure I had everything that I needed. We stayed in touch all the time, and now after having their baby, and she stays in touch with me even more now, which is wonderful. I don't have to worry, you know, it wasn't transactional. Surrogacy can oftentimes get a really bad rap, but it is not what people make it out to be. It is a selfless and beautiful thing. You can do it transactional. You can, you know, get paid, carry the baby, give them the baby, and then that be that. Have very little contact if you choose to, but that is definitely not the way that I wanted my journey to go. I wanted to be in touch with this family. I wanted to know who I was caring for. I wanted an intimate relationship with them, and I got exactly that. And it was the most beautiful experience, just like my first experience. Obviously, this is my second time doing this. I was terrified going into it my second time. Not overall terrified. I was worried that my second time doing this wouldn't be as sorry, sounded like somebody was here at my house. I was worried that my second time doing it was not going to be as amazing as my first time was, and I didn't want to be let down. My first journey was perfect. Checked every box. It was just as I had prayed for, had hoped for, and I was scared going into my second journey that things might go wrong, because there are instances where surrogates get really mistreated, where things go south. Starting out, mid-journey, end of the journey, that never happened. My second journey was just as beautiful as my first. And the parents are wonderful people. They took really great care of me. The mom of baby got my boys gifts. She got me a really beautiful golden necklace with my my boys' initials on it. That was very sweet. She got that for me for Mother's Day. And they have just really taken care of my family. And my husband, during the hospital stay, he was just a saint. Like I said, he went to pick her up from the airport, no questions asked. He was happy to do it. Came right back, jumped up in the morning. The intended mother gave him a list of things to go get from Walmart, and it was actually really funny. It was cute. I'm talking like specific products, the brand, the size of the product. I did not expect my husband to be able to manage that, I will be honest, but he got everything perfectly. And he even came back with coffee. He came back with flowers for me. Flowers for her. And he was just on top of everything. After I had the baby, before Amy made it, he took care of her. He changed her first diaper. He fed her. I will just never understand why people are so completely against surrogacy. I understand that there are stories out there where it has been it has been misused, and it was done for the wrong reasons. That does happen. But overall, it is such a beautiful thing. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. Obviously, I'm way too fresh. I could not do it right now. And I say that. I think for sure that was my last journey, which is why it's so emotional. Also because baby was a girl, and I have only ever carried boys. So I can say without a shadow of a doubt, it was definitely a different type of connection. It's something that you have to talk to yourself about. You have to talk to yourself through it the entire time that you're carrying baby, just to remind yourself, I'm carrying this child, but this is not my child. And I knew what I signed up for. I knew when we matched that they wanted a girl, and that's what it was going to be. And obviously I said yes. I went through with it. And I knew it would be different because she is a girl and my heart longs for a girl. I have two beautiful boys and my heart is full, but part of me would love a girl. So I knew going into it, it would be different. It was just a constant reminder that I had to remind myself, this might be different. When you have her, the recovery might be different. And it has been, not in a way that I wish she was mine. I don't wish that she was mine. I am so happy for this family, and I consider myself deeply blessed to be able to have done this for them, and just so honored that they trusted me to do this for them, because this is such a leap of faith. It's a leap of trust. You guys are carrying somebody else's child for 9 months, and we've only seen each other a handful of times, and they just have to trust and have faith that I'm doing what I need to do to care for her while she's in my womb. And they did just that, and it was beautiful. And oh yeah, all of the feels and the emotions. And this isn't the end. I did, the journey's complete. I had her. She's safe, she's healthy, I'm healthy, everything went amazing. But this is definitely not the end. We will be staying in touch. She wishes it to be that way. I wish it to be that way, so it works out perfectly. And they do want me to provide breast milk, so I'm actively pumping, and we'll be shipping milk over to them. So we'll be staying in touch, and I just couldn't be more thankful. I also just want to touch on real quick on the agency that I went through. We used Alcia Surrogacy. I can't recommend them enough. If you are interested in being a surrogate, or you just have questions, you want more information, or you need to use a surrogate, definitely go to Alcia. Their whole team, it's not just a business, you guys. It's a family, and they have all actively taken such good care of me and the intended parents. So look no further. If you need an agency to reach out to, or you have more questions, definitely go to Alcia. They have been the best of the best. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I'm going to try to attach some photos to this video. This is my first video I have ever made. So I'm going to do my best. Hopefully I can work that in here. But thanks for listening, you guys.